The chilling echo of ancient psalms meant for solace and peace can sometimes harbor a different resonance. What if the very words designed to uplift and protect became the focal point of something else? Imagine prayers, meant to be a bridge to the divine, instead acting as a beacon for unseen forces, drawing them closer to our world. A sanctuary, a place of refuge, transforming into a site of terrifying convergence. This is not a tale of faith alone, but a story where the veil between worlds thins, where the sacred is intertwined with something else, something lurking just beyond the edges of our perception. Tonight we delve into a narrative unlike any you have heard before, a story that will challenge your understanding of faith, fear, and the delicate balance between them. Prepare yourself, as we uncover a series of extraordinary events centered on what happens when the very foundation of prayer becomes a catalyst for something more sinister. We are not alone. Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, and welcome to our channel, where we explore the intricate tapestry of faith, spirituality, and history. Today, we embark on a journey into a realm where the lines between devotion and dread become blurred. We are delving into an unprecedented narrative, one that has sent ripples through the very foundations of belief, a story that begins with simple prayers, but spirals into an enigma that challenges our understanding of reality. This story, which will unfold over 8 distinct chapters, brings to light a series of events that occurred at a seemingly ordinary place, yet quickly morphed into a nexus of supernatural activity. These are not just tales from ancient scripture. They are events interwoven with our modern world, witnessed and documented, events that many would prefer to dismiss as mere coincidence or elaborate imagination. However, what if these so-called coincidences are the threads of a larger, more complex design? What if the power of prayer, instead of only reaching upwards, could also draw something from below? As you prepare for this experience, remember to stay with us until the end, because the startling conclusion and key takeaways from these events are not to be missed. Chapter 1, The Sanctuary's Awakening. Psalm 27, a passage that speaks of divine protection and unwavering faith, is the heart of our narrative. It's where we will first witness a spiritual awakening of the sanctuary. This is not about a mere recitation of familiar verses, but a profound outpouring of heartfelt prayers, uttered by individuals seeking solace, strength, and a deeper connection with their faith. This is the central point of the narrative, where a local church, filled with sincere believers and their heartfelt petitions, unwittingly becomes a focal point. Every word spoken, every plea for divine intervention, becomes a ripple in the spiritual realm. What these faithful souls did not comprehend, however, is that the power of their prayers could awaken something else, something beyond their comprehension. It seems that their cries for protection and deliverance may have inadvertently called forth something from the unknown. As the intensity of their prayers grew, so did the feeling of unease in the hallowed halls, a subtle shift in the spiritual atmosphere, as if the very fabric of reality was beginning to unravel. Chapter 2, Echoes of the Unseen. The shift in the atmosphere was not just a feeling. It manifested in chilling, tangible ways. Reports began to surface of strange sounds echoing during late-night prayer services. Whispers, indistinct at first, which began to weave their way into the fabric of the very prayers themselves. These were not the soothing murmurs of spiritual comfort, but the unsettling echoes of something unseen, something else, mimicking the very prayers themselves, twisting the pure words into something grotesque. Some reported seeing shadows flicker in the corners of the sanctuary that seemed to have a life of their own. These shadows did not seem to be merely tricks of the light. These shadows shifted and moved, regardless of the surrounding light source. This seemingly unexplainable phenomenon unsettled the faithful, stirring a sense of dread that was out of place in such a sacred space. Chapter 3, The Psalms as a Key. The repeated readings of Psalms, especially Psalms 27, 145, 121, and 5, formed a pattern, like an unlocking mechanism. It became clear that the very texts, meant to invoke God's presence, acted as a conduit. They resonated with something within that space, creating a vibrational energy, a gateway for entities beyond our plane of existence. The constant repetition of certain phrases, like the pleas for deliverance, protection, and divine light, seemed to amplify this effect. As the prayers were spoken, their power seemed to act like a homing beacon, drawing something closer and clearer from the hidden dimensions of the unknown. With every recitation, the intensity of the otherworld's presence became more palpable. Chapter 4: The Manifestations Intensify. The shadows that flickered and moved and the whispers which mimicked the words were just the beginning. As time went on, the sanctuary began to witness more blatant manifestations. Objects began moving on their own. During moments of prayer, candles would extinguish themselves, then relight spontaneously. Images of light began to shift and appear with no explanation. Some reported feeling a chilling coldness that would appear and dissipate just as quickly, and with it a palpable sense of an oppressive presence. It appeared that the sanctuary, once considered a safe haven, had become a focal point for something otherworldly, and that presence was not benign. Chapter 5: The Search for Answers. As the events in the sanctuary intensified, the community sought answers from religious scholars, theologians, and even paranormal investigators. Many attributed these events to natural phenomena, while others dismissed them as flights of fancy born from overactive imaginations, but the evidence continued to grow that could no longer be ignored. Some theologians considered the possibility that the very prayers themselves could have inadvertently created a portal, a vulnerability in the fabric of reality that allowed a sinister presence to infiltrate this realm. Paranormal investigators, armed with cutting-edge equipment, attempted to document the activity, but their findings were baffling. The data and evidence collected seemed to defy all conventional science and explanation. What was once considered a place of divine peace was now the focal point of an escalating spiritual battle. Chapter 6: The Battle Within. The community was now caught in a spiritual conflict, a battle that tested the limits of their faith and courage. The sanctuary, no longer a place of refuge, became a battlefield where the forces of light and darkness collided. The faithful, armed with their unwavering belief and heartfelt pleas, stood against the encroaching darkness, but their numbers and their strength were dwindling. This struggle was not just about overcoming the supernatural manifestations. It was about maintaining their faith in the face of growing fear and uncertainty. The very essence of their belief was being tested, challenged, and twisted by an unseen enemy who appeared to draw its strength from the very act of worship itself. Chapter 7: The Unexpected Twist. Just when it appeared as though the sanctuary might be lost, the narrative took an unexpected turn. A previously unnoticed detail from ancient texts was discovered, a part of the scripture that spoke of how to seal such a rupture, how to restore the balance, but the text also warned that the remedy could have unpredictable consequences. With a mix of hope and apprehension, the community followed the text, performing a ceremony that combined ancient rituals with contemporary faith. What happened next was a complete shock to everyone. The rituals not only stopped the manifestations, it seemed to completely reverse them. The whispers turned into clear voices speaking in unknown tongues, the shadows shifted into beams of pure light, and the sense of oppressive presence was now an overwhelming feeling of unconditional love and peace. The spiritual realm, which had become a source of terror, became an avenue for healing and divine grace. Chapter 8: The Final Confrontation. As the final moments of our story unfold, the true nature of the entity is revealed. It was neither malevolent nor benevolent, but instead, it was a distorted reflection of the very prayers that had called it forth. It was as if the fervent pleas of the faithful had been twisted and amplified by a cosmic echo, creating an entity that was both terrifying and desperate, a being that yearned for connection, but only understood how to express itself through fear and chaos. What began as a desperate attempt to find protection and solace had inadvertently revealed the complexity of the spiritual realm and how even the most sacred act of prayer could have unintended and even terrifying consequences. This serves as a reminder that the spiritual realm is vast and its nature is often beyond our limited human comprehension. The battle had been won, but it had also changed the very faith of those who had partaken in it. As we close this extraordinary chapter, we realize that our exploration into the unknown is far from over. The story of the sanctuary serves as a stark reminder that the spiritual realm is an untamed wilderness. It urges us to approach our faith with awareness and humility. Prayer, a sacred conduit to the divine, can also become a pathway to unseen realms and should be approached with both reverence and caution. The events at the sanctuary, while extreme, highlight a universal truth that the power of faith and belief can have profound effects, not only within our own lives but also on the very fabric of reality. It is a testament to the intricate relationship between the visible world and the unseen realms. We must consider that our spiritual acts can have reverberations beyond our wildest imagination. We encourage you to reflect upon this story, to examine your own understanding of prayer, faith, and the mysteries of the unknown. Thank you for being with us today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this story with others. Your engagement allows us to continue bringing you unique narratives from the very edge of the known. Until our next exploration, may your path be guided by both faith and understanding.